Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about how do I get onto the transplant list? What qualifies me? Well, it really depends what organ, right? Um, if you've been out here before, you know that I'm a liver recipient. So for me, it was, they monitored my MELD score. Uh, the MELD score, measuring end of life disease, um, ranges from anywhere, low digits to in the 40s. 40s is a high case scenario where they need a transplant pretty much immediately. So when I was diagnosed, um, my MELD score the first time they told me was around 12. And they monitored that and for about 6 years or so. My MELD score stayed around that same time frame. Uh, when I moved to South Carolina, that MELD score, after about 2 years of monitoring here, well, it's actually 3 years because I came in 2020, went to 18. And so that was beyond the point where they started working me into getting the transplant. Being on the transplant list. So that in itself's, pretty daunting when they tell you that, we're going to start the workup for transplant because you just never know. Then starts the mental exercises. Am I going to even be uh, fit enough for a transplant? Because you've been dealing with this for a long time. You're exhausted. The mental stress is already wearing on you. So all those thoughts keep going through your head. Your team is trying to help you be as positive as you can. They've been through it before. Um, they don't see anything that is um, really sticking out, at that point. But then you have to start doing the tests. And of course, the tests, I know I'm going to miss some of these. So if there's anybody out there watching this that have had to go through some other testing, let me know in the comments below. But, those tests, they check your heart. They, check all the blood work. Um, they check, if you can't remember some of the vaccines that you've had, like I had to do my Hep B vaccine again before I could get on the transplant list. Um, but they check all the blood work. And then if they find anything going through your ultrasounds or anything like that, then they order more tests, which it can seem a bit much, but they want to create the most positive outcome for you for your transplant. So keep that in mind. I had to go, I had an ultrasound and CAT scan, showed some calcium around my heart. Um, so I had to go and have, one of the biopsies that went through the jugular. And they went in and measured the pressure of the heart, that kind of thing. And then they saw that, that calcium was just basically a shadow that they saw in that CAT scan. But, they also determined that, yes, the heart was strong enough that, that it could withstand the surgery and that kind of thing. Um, of course, the biggest thing is you have to have insurance to cover it and to be able to get qualified for it. So they start that process first, to make sure that the insurance is going to be able to cover the transplant surgery. And that, is the biggest stressor. Um, so, they get that out of the way. Then you also see somebody. on the team that for the mental preparedness, to make sure that you can handle all of the things that are going to come your way because your brain's going to get foggy. They do hook you up with someone that you can talk to along this whole process that keeps you kind of grounded, um, and to talk about your feelings going through it. So, those are stepping stones, and once you get all that testing done, then you finally go in, or I did anyway. I went in and met with the transplant team, and it was about a 6-hour meeting. We went in and met with the doctor, and first off, I think that they came in with the finance person. Then you had a PA come in, then you had the surgeon come in, then you had someone come in, um, that was part of the community care program that could hook you up with any kind of resources that you might need um, after the surgery. Um, Also knew if your insurance, uh, with the insurance guy, they kind of knew the ins and outs. If you needed a hotel room, if the insurance would cover it, and what insurance would cover it. My insurance guy, it took me almost 2 years, or I was on my second year on the list when I got it. So I had talked to him several times through that process, and so I kind of knew where to turn and what my insurance would and would not cover. So those are all the things that help you along the way. And I know I'm rambling. So guys, if there's anything that I miss here, um, I'm sure somebody will catch it. Put it down in the comments below. And also, guys, this is truly a gift, a second chance in life. Get out there and live life, and also be an advocate for future donors. Um, like I said, this is something that not everybody um, has an opportunity to do. I actually lost a friend that could not go through the surgery in early 2020. And so I know what a blessing this is. So please advocate for organ donation whenever you can, and also advocate for yourself when when things seem impossible or when you don't understand. Just advocate for yourself while you're going through this. And just ask them nicely, say, hey, slow down a minute and tell me what's going on here. How can I help with the best outcome here? So, guys, hopefully I'll see you next time. Share, like, comment below, and we'll talk to you later.